Thank you, Toni, for joining us here today. We are at COTA with NASCAR for their Austin, Texas race. First and foremost, we just love to ask you how you got started in racing and kind of what that journey looked like.
Yeah, so I started racing in go-karts when I was 9. I knew nothing about racing before I got into go-karting, and basically my dad just saw like this billboard on the highway for go-kart classes at Sonoma Raceway. Me and my twin sister went there, both fell in love with it, and yeah, kind of the rest was history.
Very cool.
That's amazing. Can you share any of your like pre-race rituals? I know like Samantha Tan speaks about putting on her makeup and how ritualistic that is.
Right?
Yeah,
I think she posted a reel about her makeup, and I was like, it's so true, because like I feel like the more you feel like everything's about confidence. Like how you perform is all about confidence. So if putting a little bit of makeup on, like, is it going to probably come off in the helmet? Probably, but like still just like that inner confidence it gives you. So definitely relate to what she said on that. But yeah, I would say for me, like, just really surrounding myself with positive people. Like I kind of just said, like, confidence is really important. So I think just being around people that like really believe in you and your journey and want to uplift you, I think is really important.
Definitely.
Speaking on that, who are some of your role models when you started getting into racing? And, you know, it's pretty obvious, unfortunately, that there aren't so many female drivers. So did you have any role models that you looked up to?
Yeah, it's hard because there's really not that many females in the sport, unfortunately, which there's a lot more coming up now. But when I got into racing when I was younger, Danica Patrick was the biggest female in the sport. So I definitely looked up to her when I was younger, and I think that's why representation is so important, because I do think we kind of played a role in, like, you know, I saw her racing IndyCar at the time, and I was like, you know, she won a race and she was really successful in that, and seeing her doing it, I was like, I didn't even have a question in mind that, like, I couldn't do it myself, so.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Now, your sponsorship with Victoria's Secret, which is awesome.
Thank you.
And pretty big announcement as well, and commitment to women in sport. How did that feel getting that news? And, like, what do you think is, like, I mean, like, we grew up Victoria's Secret, but now seeing them support an actual athlete is really cool. So if you want to talk a little bit about what that looks like for you.
Yeah, it's been really amazing working with them. I grew up wanting to be a Victoria's Secret model like many young girls, and also being a race car driver. So it's kind of cool that I feel like I'm really big into like manifesting. So I kind of feel like I manifested it in a sense. And yeah, it's been amazing working with them. They really championed me, and also like my other partners like Raising Cane's and Celsius. It's really cool that, you know, they not only believe in me, but believe in women in sports and want to really uplift us and champion us. So it's been amazing working with them.
We literally had Celsius in the car on the way.
Yes, yeah, it's so good. I did too. What flavor did you have?
I had like a
peach one.
I did.
Oh, peach vibe? That's so good. I had that yesterday.
Yeah. I always do the tropical.
Oh, that one's so good too.
And I actually got a new one that I haven't tried yet. It's the mango passion fruit.
Ooh, that one's good. That one's good.
But talking about sponsorship in sports, obviously motorsport sponsorship is like the name of the game.
Yep.
It's really hard to do anything without it. And we're seeing a lot of new sponsors kind of realize what motorsport is and try to come into the sport. If you were to look in the future for any dream sponsors, what would that look like?
Yeah, racing is definitely very expensive, and it's a pay-to-play sport. You can't get on the track without funding, so it's kind of like a vicious cycle, especially, you know, for girls trying to get up in this sport. Like, you need seat time to be able to perform well and to be in good equipment, but then you need like money to do that. So it's this whole cycle that's really hard to get out of. But yeah, I have a lot of dream partners, which, I mean, Victoria's Secret and Raising Cane's were like huge dreams. Same with Celsius. So I feel like I've like kind of manifested all of them. I have like a list of more that I want to work with. I think like working with more like designers and more in like the fashion space. I'm really passionate about just fashion and everything like that, so I think that'd be really cool. But also love like a Neutrogena or like something like that. Like, I don't know, I grew up like watching like all those like commercials and stuff where they splash the water on their face. I'm like, I want that.
It's so funny. When we interviewed Ariana Bravo in Miami, was it last year before?
Last year.
And we asked her the same thing, and she said like skincare, beauty, because they're on planes all the time, they're always flying, and they just want those things that in the elements in their day-to-day lives.
Yeah,
which, again,
exactly.
It's a very unique female experience for people like females in motorsport.
Yeah, and more like brands geared towards females. Like I think like a Kotex would be like super sick to have too. Just more like brands that like the guys can't cop those, like only we can. So
absolutely,
that's good.
If there was a dream bucket list track that you could race, obviously Coda's amazing.
Yes,
but is there one like, logistics aside, that you would love to race at?
Ooh, that's a good question. I did like this driving school at Laguna Seca many years ago, and I think that's such a fun track, so I think it'd be cool to do. And it's kind of like in California, so probably like a track in California so my friends and family can kind of go to one.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
love that. That's sweet. Something that we've been asking some other women in sport and some other people across sport is, this industry is not for the faint-hearted. It's, not easy to necessarily get into. So do you have a piece of advice that you would wish you could tell your younger self as you start getting into this?
Ooh, I feel like I have a lot of pieces of advice that I would tell myself. I've learned a lot through this journey. Really didn't know what I was doing, like going through it for the most part was just kind of trial and error. But I would say not to compare my journey to other people's. I think it's so easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing. And I had like such a set timeline when I was younger. I was like, when I'm 15, I want to do this, and when I'm 18, I'll do this. And it did not work out like that in any way. And at times it was discouraging to kind of look back on, but I feel like everything happens for a reason, and your journey is your own, so not to really get caught up in what other people are doing, and just focus on yourself, and it'll all work out.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
If we have time, we want to do a little bit of a quick round.
Oh yeah, of course, let's do it.
Salty or sweet?
Ooh, I feel like it depends on my vibe, but I think probably more salty.
What's the snack of choice?
Ooh, I love like a chip or a popcorn. It's always good.
Big popcorn.
Yeah.
Big girl.
Drink of choice?
Ooh, Celsius.
Perfect. Last book you read?
Ooh, I usually read like audiobooks. I don't really actually, it's like a listening, not read. But I'm trying to think what it was called, but it's like a lot on like manifesting and stuff like that. So things that I can like apply to my life. Listen
Love
to.
that. Last race you watched?
Where was it the NASCAR racing at last weekend?
Bristol,
yeah. I watched Bristol. That was my last race.
Last show you binged?
Ooh, it's been a minute. I think the last one was probably Euphoria, which now they're doing like a season 3, but that was a long time ago. Season 2 was a long time ago.
Well, you didn't have to wait. You could just like run through it.
Yeah.
Totally. Sunrise or sunset?
Ooh, I love both. I think sunrise, I'm definitely like a morning type person, but they're both so pretty.
Morning workouts or evening workouts?
Oh, definitely morning. Yeah.
I feel the same.
Yeah.
What is one product you can't live without?
Ooh, that's a really good question. There's so many things. There's so many things. I would say, for like racing, like all my racing gear, like I can't live without that. But through like my everyday life, I literally have a Celsius every single morning. Like I cannot get through my morning without my Celsius. I'd probably go with that. But yeah, I have many essentials in my life.
Any like last message or anything you want to share with people? Like anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited to be here. I love kind of events like this, being able to meet other females that are into motorsports. So I'm excited to meet more people here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lizzie.